Welcome back, my favorite coder cats and coder kittens, to another week where I, Becca, also known as Nightcat or Nightcat's Meow, most places online, occasionally game herself, am here to talk to you about Linden scripting language. So, I've got a little special side project that I really wanted to demo to y'all last week, but unfortunately, because of my mic going out, that wasn't really possible. Still learning some of the ins and outs of this one, but it is a higher quality mic. I'm going to get one of those pop screens and an arm to move it closer to my face. It's really going to help me step this up once I get all the other stuff to go with it properly. But enough about that for the moment. Y'all seen in movies where you have like a GPS in a movie where it's little dots that mark the position of whatever you're chasing versus where you are, so on and so forth. I actually had cause to build something like that here in SL. Some of you may have seen the things that will give you a rough 3D approximation of where multiple people are in a sim. This is much simpler. This is just a simple 2D representation, but it is very lightweight on code and very simple to set up. And really good for just keeping track of where you are relative to where you want to be in real time. So we're going to start just creating a simple flat board. Yep, that is the one I need. Alright. What you're hearing is Lily saying hello mid-recording. She has to come in and, make sure her voice is heard as part of the process. Now, how this is going to work is it's based on a couple of very simple facts. Let's link that together real quick. We'll start. Lily, I need access to my keyboard, girl. I'm sorry. I can pet you when this is done. One of the things you're going to need is you're going to need to have this go off regularly, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Right now, we'll just have this start off. Calc. Since I have this set up to receive an argument for a vector, I'm able to feed it one from down here. Why am I putting this up here as a separate thing? Because as we go through and make a few more things with this, it may start to become important to have multiple things running in here. So, is what we're going to do next. So, we already have the position where, so we need float x equals where dot x. What this does is tells us to get the x coordinate of the x, y, z, the x coordinate from that float. Float y equals where dot y. Those are the only parts we actually need, the x and the y coordinate. Now, the way this is going to work, what really makes this shine, is that all sim spaces are the same size. Whether it is a full parcel on the mainland, whether it is a private island, a full sim, or a homestead sim, they are all 256 by 256 meters. And I need to check to see if that came through well, because I was turning away to look at my cat. Fortunately, it did come through well enough, it sounded like, or at least not as badly as I had feared, which speaks volumes of the quality of this mic. So, If you know the full number, and it will range from 0 to 256, if you know that full range, then you can calculate a percentage. So the way we would calculate a percentage would be float x pos equals x divided by 256 times 100 owners A string X%. Quotation mark, the quotation mark. There we go. Now I'm doing it right. String. Partly this is just making sure I remember how I got the math to work right here. There we go. Now it'll give us everything that we need to look at. Except it's giving me a small error. What did I screw up? Did not capitalize that Y. There we go. Alright, that does in fact look about right. That would mean 10.17 whatever is 3% of the way across on the x-axis and 46 18% across on the y-axis. That sounds about right. Now, you may be wondering exactly how having this percentage actually helps me in terms of position here. Simple. The way you translate that into a position for the dot is you have a texture offset, horizontal offset, vertical offset. And the way we are going to dynamically offset that pull up handy dandy in-screen Google. Offset texture. And yes, U is the X offset, V is the Y offset. That's what I thought. So we put X position. Whoops. Didn't have that typing into the code window. X position. Y position. And face doesn't really matter in this case, all sides. Now it will automatically adjust itself, what it displays, based on where we are, but this requires you to manually start it each time. So the last piece to that is we're going to copy that, then delete it. So simple Control-C, then delete. Set timer event. 1 second. Timer. Those sections right there, just set it to every second to run this bit of code up here. And I've commented out the things that speak to us about it. also going to stretch, wrong part, stretch these out a little bit so that when I take it into inventory, turn that around, object, there, that's a reasonable size for that. We'll put it right over there for convenience. Gonna stand up here. See slight changes in position, but they're going to be a lot more obvious after I engage fly. So you see there, it is automatically updating my relative position on the sim in real time. You could put a little map there and let people know where they are on a sim floor, or in a shopping area. You could have different areas marked out, and you could give a navigation HUD like this. But I personally think it's more fun for tracking more than one person. And that is absolutely a thing you can do with this. In fact, that was how I originally set it up. But how to incorporate the additional tracking, that you're going to have to wait for next week. Because that is what we're going to cover this week in Coder Kitty's workshop. Just a simple way of tracking your relative position on the sim in real time, like a GPS. Go ahead and tune in each Tuesday by noon Eastern Standard Time, and barring some kind of unfortunate circumstance, I will be available producing a video. The rare times that something interferes with that, I do make a point of posting something and letting y'all know. There will be a link for a full playlist in case you're new to this channel down in the description. I will also go ahead and make a free link to that point texture. Literally all that is just a large space with a couple of pixel sized dot on it that is not transparent. Only the dot is not transparent. That way I can move the dot by a simple texture offset. So next week we will cover how to program it to track other specific individuals, and that'll catch us up there. I already mentioned the playlist link in the description. There is also Coder Kitty Decoded, where every week I take another command or a set of extremely closely related commands, and I explain their use, their quirks, and what arguments and syntax you have to put in there. So if you happen to like the way I explain things, it's a way to go ahead and look up specific commands with my own personal touch of going through them. It's going to take a long time to cover everything in LSL, but eventually I intend to get there. So that'll be it for this week. Hopefully I will see all of you next week. Until then, good day, good luck, happy coding. Meow meow.